See that?
Okay, and we are officially live according to this thing.
I'm waiting to see us live. So if you can see us, hello world.
This is our first time doing this with this equipment, so we just want to double check. Yep, we got it right here. So we are good. Well, that's just your phone then. So anyway, welcome to Whatever Wednesday on the Bourbon Note. If you're not familiar with Whatever Wednesday,
what's Whatever Wednesday?
This is when we drink.
Well, welcome to the Bourbon Note.
Welcome to the Bourbon Note, yeah. But this is when we drink
whatever.
Different stuff, whatever. Yeah, we drink stuff that's not bourbon.
It could be a bourbon, and I don't.
Could be a scotch, could be whatever. But some of it's disgusting, and I kind of feel like this one has potential, but it also has potential to maybe be awesome at the same time.
I have really high hopes.
Yeah,
let's put it that way.
So we do have the laptop over here, so we can check and see if anybody's watching. We don't have a monitor.
Yeah, we've got a couple of people saying hi already.
Let's see. Oh, hello, see ya. It's Sir Cuts. Crossfire Recruiting says, hello, Jonathan Rowe. I am excited for this video. I've been waiting a few weeks. Wow. All right. Well, thank you for your patience.
Yeah, totally.
And welcome. I hope this isn't an egregious letdown.
Well, I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So
we're mixing cocktails, which we've never done on the channel.
Right. So we have, let's just bring in the product here.
Hey, Ron.
Bam. Is Ron in the house? What's up, Ron? We've got Kurvball BBQ whiskey. Now, it doesn't actually say barbecue flavored whiskey, but I've gleaned from the research I've done that it's barbecue flavored. It says throw it back. I'm not sure what that means.
It says natural flavors.
And artificial coloring, I think it's
caramel color.
Yeah, something like that. So by the way, like I said, we've got the monitor over here. So if you're commenting,
we'll check occasionally, but not in real time.
I'll keep an eye on it over here.
Yeah.
Check every couple of minutes. So here's what we're going to do. We obviously have to try this neat just to see what the actual whiskey tastes like.
Totally.
And then on their website, they've got a couple of suggested cocktails.
Yes.
One is a barbecue Bloody Mary. Greg and I are not the biggest Bloody Mary guys, but we're going to try that one.
We'll give it a try.
We do like old fashions, however, and they do have one of these with an old fashioned. So we're going to try both of those. So for starters, let's get into it neat here.
I've got a glass. So you can let's put it over here.
Throw it back into the 50 ml basket by the register. Yeah, you might be right. All right, so I'm pouring this whole thing because I will end up using this for my Bloody Mary.
So I took a quick sniv.
It's not a sniv until it's multiple. Speaking of which, the snivs t-shirts are available.
And they're selling. Thank you so much for those who have already purchased.
You're welcome for that, internet. You know what's interesting is, so we put a short up to like promote the merch store and the snivs t-shirt. And I said in the thing that
smoker, straight out of the smoker.
Oh yeah. Oh, it smells lovely. I don't know. It
smells really good.
If it smells like something I want to drink, but you're right, it does smell exactly like if you went out and sniffed my smoker.
Yeah.
Whether it's just one sniff or multiple snivs, that's what you would get. Yeah. Anyway, so we put that short out to promote the snivs shirt and the merch channel.
Yeah.
And I said the link should be either in the description of this video or the channel description. And I did not see it in either one. So
it is in the channel description.
But it wasn't on that when I followed it from that. For some reason, it didn't show. I don't know. We don't know what we're doing here. We're only a year and a half and 200 videos into this. Baby steps. We'll get it figured out.
Yeah.
It's in the main channel description. Let's see. Bourbon Rendezvous. Ron says, how funny. I researched a Bourbon Bloody Mary and was about to record that. I do like Bloody Marys, but really wanted to see what the bourbon does for it. Making mine with a V8, though.
Nice.
Ron, we want to see the video on that. It's been a while since you've put a video out, so come on, man, get on it. We want to see it.
This really just smells like a really. I used to have a big green egg, giant green egg, big green egg.
I think it's big green egg,
and really smells like you just you got a brisket burning.
Yeah,
maybe some maple or not maple, hickory smoke.
Totally.
Chips.
So this does, like I said, it's a pleasant smell.
Yes.
But
assuming you like,
I don't know if it's like one of those things that's going to be off in drink form. You know what I mean? Like there are certain things that
there is only one way to answer that question.
Let's go in for it.
Fully prepared. Here we go.
Cheers.
I am prepared to make a statement.
Antelope. Tastes like it smells.
I don't even know what that means.
We've discussed this.
Yeah, but I wasn't listening.
Antelope meat tastes like it smells. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. I think they're watching right now. They'll get that reference.
Okay. I still don't understand, and you've explained it. But anyway, this clearly artificially flavored, like sweetness and like the whiskey tastes very artificial.
I think this is nothing but natural. This was aged inside of a smoked brisket.
But it does have very strong smoke flavors, which I absolutely love.
Mm-hmm.
This is really, really good.
This is really good for a couple of sips, and then you want to just die.
I suspect that by the time if I were to drink this whole thing, I would be done with it and not want to see it again for months.
Yeah, this is not one that
really sweet and rich and overpowering on the sweetness, which surprises me.
I'm sure the good people at Kurvball didn't put this product out there for it to be sip neat.
Well, they should have.
Usually, that's not the goal of a flavored whiskey, either shots or drinks.
But
it does taste really good, though. Like it's got a great flavor.
If they only sold it in the 50 milliliter bottles, I think they're on the right track.
Yeah, unless you well, here we're gonna find out. We're gonna make some cocktails. Let's get to some comments here. Ron says, "I know, guys, my taste has just gotten back to normal from COVID." Oh, well, I'm glad you're doing all right, Ron.
Yeah,
more confident about taste vids again. Jonathan Rowe says, "I took it as a shot. Instant regret."
No, I like it.
Oh, Alyssa's in the house. Only good for cooking. LOL. Nice. Brisket. Shivs thrown in barrel. I wonder if that's real.
Staves?
It might be staves, or I don't know. Maybe shivs is like a.
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Plural for shiv. Good idea, Alyssa. Ron says. Yeah, this probably would be good for cooking, but it might be good for a Bloody Mary.
Well, let's find out.
So let's get into that.
Although I have to admit, at this point, I am a little bit more concerned because the sweetness, and I'm assuming that's salty and tomato juicy. I don't know how these two are gonna. I don't know.
Well, usually these are made with vodka. So I mean, if you can do it with vodka, you can do it with whiskey.
Well,
there's a bowl of ice in the freezer. I think usually what you would want to do is keep your Bloody Mary mix in the refrigerator, but I just bought this because I don't drink Bloody Marys really. So I'm going to mix it a little bit over some ice just to cool it down, and then we'll get some ice in the glasses too here. Okay. I took the plastic off of this beforehand because we always get our glasses kicked by the plastic. And it came off just fine. All right. Good idea. Staves is what I meant to type. Nice. Ron says
shivs, maybe
shivs, you know.
Yeah.
Like shiv me timbers. Wait. Something wrong with that. All right. So let me get the recipe here. Because I'm going to follow this to the T. Entertain the internet while I'm looking this up.
Entertain the internet.
Yes.
I didn't know that was part of my job description.
No, of course it is. You're on a YouTube channel. Okay. 1.5 ounces Kurvball. That's 1.5 ounces minus those two. We're just going to double up on this whole recipe, even though we're not going to drink the whole thing.
Okay.
3 ounces Bloody Mary mix. So now I have to do 6 ounces. Well, I don't have a 6 ounce.
Well, you have a 2, so just do 3 of them.
No, that's a 1.5.
Oh, well.
So is this.
That would be 4 of them.
Yeah. Let's see.
Just put this much in.
We're going exactly. 1. This is riveting television right here.
No, it is.
God, I might not have enough room in here.
Well, that's the majority of it. I probably put too much ice in there.
Oh, no, we're going to be just fine. Look at this.
Close enough.
Close enough, yep. All right, there's 6 of that. What's next on the list here? Let's see a dance. Alyssa wants to see a dance.
Who is Alyssa? I don't even know who this person
From
is.
Spirits Liquor, best liquor store in Minnesota.
I think I do know who she is then.
1/2 ounce lemon juice. So I'm going to go with the full ounce lemon juice.
Oh, lemon.
This is not a... Oh, son of a bitch. I got to find a way to open this. Greg, entertain the internet while I figure this out. Well, I don't know. Can you...
Tell you how I did the last one.
I'm just terribly nervous about your hands right now. Although that would make for great live YouTube. Greg takes a finger off during the live broadcast. Okay, so we need 1 ounce. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's perfect because I actually usually when I open these, I use a toothpick and then they don't pour worth a damn.
This is the lemon juice.
All right. And then splash of Worcestershire. Perhaps the most controversial thing ever said on this channel is how to pronounce this. I go Worcestershire.
I honestly don't know, and I don't have an opinion. But you mentioned that something else tastes like Worcestershire.
Yeah.
We had this has come up in another.
Well, it came up in our original review of Woodford Double Oak.
Oh.
And we didn't end up actually using that. But I made a wing sauce one night. It was called a Bloody Maria. It was like Worcestershire and red wine.
Huh.
So 2 splashes of that.
Okay.
And I think that's it. And anyway, when I drink the Woodford...
Or are you going to go non-spice?
We'll do non-spice first, and we'll add that to our individual glasses.
Okay.
And then some cracked pepper. Anyway, so that Woodford Double Oak always reminded me of that sauce. By the way, I like pepper, so I probably...
I do as well.
Way overdid that.
I think we're okay.
All right, you want to fill those bad boys up with ice while I shake it like a Polaroid picture here? Here's your dance. All right, let's see a dance. Crossfire Recruiting says, "Oh, dance, Greg."
No.
Shivs. LOL. Next up, Revelstoke Pickle Whiskey Bloody Mary. Oh, there are few things in the world I find. Can we get another no, that'll probably be fine.
I think it'll be okay.
Few things in the world I find more offensive than the taste of pickles.
I agree with you. I am not a pickle aficionado.
So maybe we'll have to do that as we'll have some sort of a competition on here, and that'll be like a punishment.
And no, I will not participate. And just as a side note, the pickle note.
Do it for the likes,
sucks.
Greg. The pickle note. Is there really one? There's something like stuck there. Okay. So now normally you would garnish this with like some celery and some other bullshit. Yeah, I'm not into that either. The Bloody Mary game, you know how it's kind of gotten out of control the last few years of like what people garnish it with?
Oh, they stick with the entire cheeseburger and pizza on it and all that?
I legit saw one on the World Wide Web that had a full rotisserie chicken on it. In their defense, I think it was a picture of Bloody Marys, but still.
I've seen one with a pizza, and that was pretty awesome.
All right, so historically, Bloody Marys kind of have a weird thing with me. Like, I like the taste of them, but I just like a taste. I've never actually drank one.
I don't know. I've not had a lot of taste. I don't care for tomato juice in general, so I always avoid it.
But I like just a little bit of spice and whatever, but I've never drank it.
I need to jump into it or I'm not going to do it, so here goes.
All right. Oh, that's delightful.
It's a combination of flavors that don't belong together.
Really? Oh, I think that's great.
I have a very poor frame of reference. Like the Worcestershire sauce is too strong, but I don't really care for Worcestershire sauce. Tomato is actually not that prominent. I don't get maybe there's some smoke from the whiskey.
I'm totally getting the smoke. There's a thing here. So on their website, they have different ones, how you can manipulate the Bloody Mary.
Well, yeah,
you can, let's see. A hot Bloody Mary, add Tabasco. I will try that once I get a little further in this. Honey barbecue bloody. Guess what you do with that one?
I'm thinking you, let's say Jim Beam honey.
No, you just add honey.
Oh.
A shrimp Bloody Mary. What are you guessing?
You have a midget pour your drink?
Canceled.
I don't know.
I finally got to steal something from Bridget Fetisi. I've been wanting to do that forever. No, that's when you garnish it with a shrimp. I'm waiting for you to get one of these right.
No.
Texas barbecue. You apparently are supposed to legitimately add. I'm just going to tell you what the answer is before you offend other people. Apparently, you're just supposed to add brisket to this. So.
Well, can you pass the Tabasco, please?
I got to tell you, as Bloody Marys go, that is freaking good. I'm super into that,
It's the best Bloody Mary I've ever had.
Being a person who doesn't like Bloody Marys, let's catch up in the chat here.
Maybe I'll just dump the entire bottle of Tabasco. It'll be too hot for me to taste.
Don't you say Bloody Mary 3 times and something happens? I think you have to say it into the mirror. Isn't that how that goes?
Red rum, red rum.
Yeah,
red
so
rum.
as long as we're facing this way, nothing bad's going to happen. Oh, I got to try the Tabasco one now.
It helps. It genuinely helps.
I'm not going to lie to you. I am.
So I'm not sure
Definitely
what
into this.
one step up from it sucks is.
How much did you put in there?
More than that. I put quite a bit. It's actually pretty tangy and spicy. But so it no longer sucks. It's one level above that.
Really? You honestly think it sucks?
I
Well, if you
genuinely
don't like
hate
Bloody Marys, then yeah.
I don't like the Worcestershire. I don't like. It's a weird mix of flavors.
It's just a bunch of stuff you're not into.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Get a little swirl on that. All right, let's go for the hot one here.
I can't do it. I'm gonna have to call.
Oh, that's pretty good. I don't plan on drinking the whole thing. As I said, I like Bloody Marys flavor-wise, but I can't. Honestly, though, if we weren't doing this on the channel, because we do have another drink, and we're not going to sit here and just pound multiple.
Well,
cocktails.
you could throw it in the fridge and save it for later.
I do really like this. I would honestly, if you're a Bloody Mary fan, I would legit recommend this.
So the best thing about it, if I'm being honest, is the smoke flavor.
Yeah.
So I think it provides a nice boost to the flavors.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they're flavors I don't personally care for, but I think the whiskey itself is holding up and doing a good job.
Yeah.
So it's everything else that I object to.
With that Tabasco sauce, we've got some water here, but I feel like I should call this because it's really going to affect how the old fashioned tastes.
So do you want me to? What do we want?
Here,
to do
we'll just
this?
set these aside.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
so,
do you want to put yours in the fridge? Otherwise, it's going to melt and ruin it.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll throw it in the freezer because I might go back to. Well, you're not going to drink any more of this, right? Okay. We'll just throw this one over here. Okay, so I have to be off camera for a second here, gathering ingredients and getting some water.
Did you find some more glasses? Is that what these are?
Those are different ones, yeah.
Because we had recently.
They don't actually have Bourbon Note logos on them, but got some dishwasher spots on there. That's okay. They won't show up in the live stream. Greg, you want to grab your balls? It's even better than doing the dance.
So
clear ice balls.
So for
And
the longest
vacuum
time,
sealed, so the cold really.
The secret to making really good ice cubes is you make really good ice cubes and then you vacuum seal them, and they come out looking.
Okay, so we need some bitters and simple syrup. I do have these things on hand.
Good.
So are we following the recipe, or because I know you're. We've talked about this on other videos. Greg's old fashions are basically whiskey 50% and 50% simple syrup.
We don't have to go quite that much.
Okay. Well, let's follow what they say to do.
Well, I would add a little. I'm add a little bit.
Bring
more.
out the flaming hot Cheetos, Alyssa. We do have barbecue Pringles handy. The flaming hot Cheetos are upstairs.
Yeah.
Ron says, "Good one. Grab your balls." Thanks, Ron. Okay, so we need 2 more bottles of this.
Ooh, you want to do it? Oh, that's all right. I can do a drink of this. I think this will be good.
At this point, I think we'll actually have these, drinks.
I like the whiskey, and I certainly like simple syrup and bitters is bitters. But
seriously, my ice just doesn't turn out clear. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Probably so many things. All right, so
these aren't the best ones, but that one's pretty clear.
They're better than mine. So this one says 3 dashes. I probably should have put the bitters in first because now it's just on the ice.
Oh, that's okay. And then you pour the.
Let me rinse this real quick. All right. Gonna get all that Bloody Mary off of the bar spoon. So this just says a dash of, or a splash of simple syrup, but even a normal
It should have
normal
some sweetness.
person's old fashioned has, I think, at least 2 bar spoons of this. So I'm going to go, I think I usually go 3 just for good measure.
But this is a fairly sweet whiskey.
That's true, actually.
So let's do 2.
Let's
Let's
do 2,
try
okay.
it. And obviously, if we need.
And we get some orange going because we do have to make this look totally official.
Mhm.
Get some peel action. I tipped over the bowl of clear ice freeze in my freezer and said my balls are getting away. I was not amused. That actually gave me a little option to show or hide that. Ron's talking about balls too much, apparently, and that's okay. We'll keep it on here. All right, you can do.
So I'm guessing it's not actually visible to everybody.
I don't know. Oh yeah, let's show it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess that is how that worked. It's YouTube trying to keep you down, Ron.
That's right.
It's on there. Okay, so now we need cherries, because that's what it calls for. And by God, we're following the recipe. There's actually a little tiny bit of cherry juice on there.
That's probably enough.
All right. So I brought this jigger here, and I didn't end up using it, but I do have to ask. Have you ever watched like cocktail making videos on YouTube?
I've seen the movie.
Well, there is that. Why is it that like professional bartenders or mixologists, and don't get me wrong, I'm not like trying to shit on the profession or whatever, cannot seem to just pick something up and pour it? It's always got to be either this or it's this. You ever notice that?
I'm sure every profession has its little things.
Is there like a practical reason for that?
Yeah.
You know, asking for a friend?
No, you don't touch it so that you don't impart heat to the thing.
But can't you just pick it up by the bottom, go like that? I mean, like, what's the difference?
I don't know. There may be a adjustment.
It's always this.
Or maybe your fingers are dirty, or I don't know.
But you're still, yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Any mixologists in the chat, let us know. Okay, so now, as you just saw us make, this one is just a regular old-fashioned, basically, but with
barbecue whiskey.
Barbecue whiskey.
I have very high hopes of this. I think it's going to be good.
Speed, flare, control. Jonathan Rowe. What is that referring to? Is that referring to ball grabbing? Are we still on ball grabbing? I feel like it could,
have more than one application.
All right. This smells good. I like the Bloody Mary better.
What?
Yeah. This one, it almost just tastes like a sweeter version of just the drinking it neat on the rocks would be. Which I guess an old-fashioned kind of is, because you're just taking whiskey neat and putting
sugar,
a little bit of, sugar water essentially, and the bitters. But I feel like this one's just like...
So I feel it was really sweet to begin with. And I'm glad we only did 2 spoons of syrup, because we're pushing it.
Turns out they know what they're talking about, the good people at Kurvball.
Yeah. Don't mess with them.
Yeah.
But I love the smoke flavor. But I love, like, whenever I cook food, I always burn it because I like the charred, crispy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Kind of flavor.
I don't think it's bad. I can sit here and sip this. Like, I'm not going to have to dump this out. But I feel like the Bloody Mary was a little more, like, in-depth. This just kind of tastes like a glorified version of it neat, because that barbecue taste is so strong on it that it kind of overpowers everything else, I guess.
We probably could have just done, I think, no bitters. I think if you just did neat with an ice ball and let it kind of melt over time, would actually work out really well for this.
Yeah, this might be good on the rocks whiskey.
Yeah. I love the flavor of it. I may actually pick up a bottle because I actually really, really like the flavor.
I think you can make a lot of interesting cocktails out of this. Mm-hmm. There's a list of a bunch of other stuff here that's like shots, and most of it is so there's a honey barbecue, Do you want to take this one again?
We already discussed it.
No, this is a shot. 2 parts Curveball, 1 part honey liqueur. So they're kind of like you said, Jim Beam honey.
Well, that's what I had last night or the other night.
Oh, that's right. That's when I said that the bourbon note would be continuing as a solo venture. Greg was drinking Fireball and Jim Beam honey last night.
It's actually really, really good.
The dry rub rim shot.
Don't even have a guess.
We're just gonna move past that.
Don't even have a guess.
Ounce and a half of Curveball and basically just put barbecue seasoning. So it's a shot with that going on.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. But yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference between this and just having it neat. It's just really the barbecue is kind of overpowering.
I'm getting the orange and the bitters a bit.
You know what? I'm gonna throw a little splash of orange bitters in here.
Okay.
And get a splash.
You missed the glass.
I got some of it in there. I didn't want to get a ton because it's only like a half an old fashioned at this point. So, do we have any announcements to make about our channel?
We
covered the merch at the beginning.
Yeah, 200 videos, which is amazing.
So this actually one of the reasons we wanted to do this Wednesday live is we did get some new equipment. We'd messed around with live streams and we tried a couple of them.
A camera.
Yeah, and we actually got it working with the computer and all that stuff. So this is going to be like a normal.
So now we can not only do live, but we can also do like joint collaboration type videos with other channels.
Ron, look for that invite.
Bobby, I don't know if he's in the chat, but
I'm not sure. Like, I've talked to Bobby at Bad Axe Bourbon. We've been wanting to get together and do something.
David,
yep. And then Sean at Whiskey Wars. I talked to him about potentially doing something. So the problem was before is like we tried a couple different cameras, and there was just always one thing that wasn't working. Right. You know, it just like the frame didn't work, and you couldn't get audio and whatever. And so now it seems like everything's working fine for this, from what I can tell. And we got it all set up so we can now start going live with other channels. We can start doing regular live streams to do. Maybe even we'll alternate doing like whatever Wednesday instead of recording something in advance. We'll just save Wednesdays for live streams maybe sometimes. Or we'll have to come up with some sort of a schedule, you know, to do that. I really need to figure out the ice ball situation.
I think it's speed, flare, and control. I don't know what that means, but that's.
Jonathan, is that the key to clear ice balls? Speed, flare, and control. Oh, hey, by the way, Ron, if you're still in here, did you get the samples? Let us know in the chat, or just send me a text, whatever you want to do. You send it. Bad Axe Bourbon's in the house, dude. Bobby's here. I'm in. Can't wait to do the collab. Nice. That's awesome. I don't know how long you've been here for, Bobby, but yeah, we definitely want to do that. If you guys haven't subscribed to Bourbon Rendezvous or Bad Axe Bourbon,
Bobby got his samples yesterday. That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
Well, it's not that awesome because it's Garrison.
Well, so Ron said he missed what we just said. We were wondering if he got the samples in the mail yet. So we did send him to Bourbon Rendezvous and Bad Axe Bourbon, Bobby and Ron.
And others.
We sent out some Garrison Brothers and a couple other things too.
Yeah.
And it's not that we wanted to send out bad whiskey. It was whiskey that we thought was okay, but it was well overpriced.
And so they didn't have to go out and spend a bunch of money.
To try it, because the subject of Garrison Brothers came up on
a lot of channels.
Bobby and Sean were talking about, Garrison Brothers and stuff like that. And it's kind of like a Texas whiskey thing and whatever. And it's like, well, here's a way for people to try it without spending so much money. Because now actually the prices that we gave in that video are not even accurate anymore. The Bal Maria is now $220 here, and the single barrel is $115.
I think that their strategy is just to sell very high priced. I mean, the bottles look good, but I think they're just pushing the price up, trying to justify.
Yeah.
And make people think, it must be good.
Artificially making it a premium whiskey. Yeah. Bobby says he's got a new favorite rocks glass. Cheers, Bobby. That's awesome. I'm glad it showed up. I had a mini panic attack when I was packaging all those up.
Okay.
Because I didn't know if you had put labels. I got a bunch of glasses. We had to get the labels on them. And then you sent the box of glasses back over, and I thought some of them didn't have labels.
Oh.
And then so I was packaging them all up, and then I looked at the rest of the box, and they all had labels. I was like, am I sending people just plain rocks glasses that don't have labels on them? Because that would be stupid. I mean, it'd be a nice gesture.
So he sends me a text and said, did all of these glasses have labels?
Because they were all already packaged up, and I put so much bubble wrap on them because I don't want stuff showing up broken.
Sure.
Bobby, did anything show up broken? Let us know.
Hopefully not.
I sent Bobby some of this Dexter.
It's over here.
And I sent some of that to Sean too. I'm excited to hear opinions on that because I was pleasantly surprised with that one.
Yep.
But I can see it's maybe not everyone's cup of tea. It's definitely a unique, different
bourbon.
one.
It's not a cup of tea. It's nobody's cup of tea. You thought my jokes were bad.
We have to get like a soundboard. Actually, looking forward to the Belle Maria, or however you spell it. I think you got it right. Yeah, because that one was like,
it's horrible.
It's not horrible. We both really liked it at first.
No, it's really good. Theo, taste it.
You say it now, but there's actually video of you on the World Wide Web.
Well, I don't even
saying that you really like it and that it's good. It was actually good. If that was a $50 bottle, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was good, but it was one of those ones that we talked about this in the video. It's like, I'm not going to reach for this very often. It wears out its welcome. For old fashioned, what proof is the sweet spot in your opinion?
This is a great question, and I want to dive into it a little bit.
Go ahead.
So if I'm really looking to just have a bourbon to like do like a tasting and a review, you do it neat.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're doing something like an old fashioned, I do that because I'm probably going to drink for like a Saturday night.
You want to have one or two of them. Like you're actually having cocktails.
Yeah,
you're not...
exactly. And so I think lower proof tends to justify, or it's easier to drink a lower proof and it's got other stuff in it over a longer period of time. But
you're also getting ice melt is going to cut it down as well.
So certain flavors and certain proof points work better once they're a little bit watered down because of the ice. So I really think, for a million reasons, I really like bottled and bond bourbons because they can handle a little bit of water and melt.
Or just 100 proof. You don't have to have
totally.
You can leave the government out of it and
leave
still
the government.
Have it. So if you don't know what bottled and bond is, they're 100 proof. There's a whole bunch of qualifications. It's a classification of whiskey. It's government bonded warehouses. It's at least 4 years. Has to be 100 proof. Whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, 100 proof is a good point.
I would say you can even get down to 90. My answer is going to be 90 to 100.
Yeah,
because then it stands up to the ice melt. It gives you a good punch of flavor. You know, and to be honest, like I've tried old fashions with bourbons that I genuinely don't like just to see.
Sure.
In an old fashioned, there's not enough ingredients in it that make it different that you can save a bad bourbon with an old fashioned, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah.
So you're going to get the flavor. So the point is use a whiskey that you like.
Right.
Let's see. Sir Cut says I was going to say 100. I should get a sample for asking a good question. Well, I got the package and have not tried the juice yet, but the glass is amazing. My wife asked if we can order some. And I said, probably, absolutely. Rye or bourbon, though? I would say, how do you say that? Mangaga. Yeah, I don't know how to say your name, so sorry. A lot of times people use high rye bourbons or rye whiskeys for an old fashioned. The reason for that is when you're mixing with like the bitters and the orange, the high rye and the rye whiskeys tend to have kind of like a nice spice, but also a bit of a citrus note to them. And so the orange complements that really well. But to be honest, you can really make an old fashioned out of any bourbon that you like.
So I recently did, what was the Union? Something Union to MGP. Rossville Union. So
those are ryes.
They're ryes. And we did a couple of reviews during our rye week about a month ago.
No, we actually did those.
It was earlier than that. But anyway, so I made an old fashioned with those. It is noticeably different because it's weird. Rye whiskey has a sweetness that's different than bourbon.
Yep.
It's a different, I don't know.
And it pairs along with that spice.
And it pairs with the simple syrup and the orange bitters different. So actually, just, try a rye and try a bourbon and see which one you like better. Or just for the variation. And
the other thing I would recommend is with the ryes that you do try. So if you do a high rye bourbon like a Bullet, for example, that's a a high rye one,
Yep.
or like a Four Roses.
Yeah.
High rye bourbon. Or you can do, I think the Sagamore Spirit, I don't know how much rye this is, but this is a very rye forward rye. This one is like a true to the game rye whiskey, at least in my recollection. And what I mean by that is some of these...
There's not a lot of corn in here. It's
Right.
mostly rye.
And some of these, Elijah Craig rye, for example, I believe is basically the minimum amount of rye it can be to still qualify. We've had a lot of these like Knob Creek rye, Elijah Craig rye.
Wild Turkey.
Wild Turkey rye. Typical bourbon distilleries that put out ryes sometimes will put out a rye that's 51% rye, whereas some places will go 100% rye.
And this probably has like 40% corn or so, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, so it still has a lot of bourbon
notes.
But some other ones, and I'm going by memory, but I'm assuming this one is very, very high rye, if not 100%.
Yep.
So there's different kind of areas to play with in the rye game.
Definitely.
If you're going to go past the high rye bourbon and go to a rye. So yeah, awesome. Hopefully that helps. Let's see. I have a Bourbon Known Rocks and a Glencairn now. Yes, you do. Bourbon Rendezvous. Got to call a customer. Hopefully you'll be back in a few. All right, sounds good, Ron. Ben had that stuff wrapped up tight at first. Thought it was just a box full of bubble wrap. I really did, because I was like, man, I don't want this showing up broken. And
what's that White Claw thing? Which I've never had a White Claw, so I don't.
I have to sell a White Claw bike. I'll be right back. Alyssa, I don't know what that means, but I'm going to be inquiring about that next time I stop in. Have you guys tried the Wheatley vodka by Buffalo Trace? Yes. Just in cocktails.
You have.
I have, yeah.
I'm not.
Vodka should be smooth, I guess, is what you want out of a vodka, and it very much is smooth. So yeah, if you want to make vodka cocktails, I would definitely recommend that. What else do we have here? So this says, how do I pronounce this? Man Gagaya TV. We're going to have to check that channel out. TV. It's obviously
it's a channel. Channel on the YouTube.
So I wonder what happened if you did an old fashioned, did like half barbecue whiskey and just half regular rye, kind of cut down the barbecue a little bit, but still had a little taste
kick
of it. I don't have any more of the barbecue, otherwise I'd try it.
Yeah. Another old fashioned that I make occasionally, except I ran out, is half bourbon, half peanut butter bourbon.
Peanut butter whiskey.
Whiskey, technically. The Screwball. Because that is amazing. Is that it? No, it's a different one.
Well, this is a different one, but it's still here. Let's
so peanut butter and
well, we're trying this now.
Oh, you want to try it?
Well, we kind of have to. We talked about it, and now we gotta. What bourbon would we pair with peanut butter whiskey? Ancient.
Yeah, it would be fine.
Now let's go with since we just said up to 100 proof is good. Let's try the very old Barton.
Is this the 100 version?
This is the 100 proof version.
Okay.
Yeah. So why don't you go?
That. Okay.
I don't know if you want to do a full thing here. You could do a half.
No,
ounce
I'm
ounce.
gonna. This is how I mix a. Okay, I'm gonna do a small pour. Now I've drank all of the.
You're not gonna measure it?
No,
like a professional. You could put your hand underneath it like this, and
yes, I could. But I've seen the movie Cocktail.
Oh well, then you don't even need this thing.
Don't even.
That out of there. True professional right here.
That's right. What was that guy's name? Brian? I don't remember.
Brian Cruz.
No, well, Tom Cruise and Brian. It wasn't Brian Dennehy. Oh, was it Brian Dennehy? Or
I can't remember who was in Cocktail. The old guy wasn't the guy from. Who was the guy in Cocktail? The older guy.
Brian something.
Let's see what. Okay, I got to catch up on comments here. At some point, we'll get it so the comments are right here. But the thing is we have a lot of bar in front of us, which we like, and so it's hard to get a monitor in here that's not in the way.
Or we'll hire a assistant.
Yeah.
So this is peanut butter whiskey, regular bourbon, and the remnants of. I think there'll be a little bit of smoke from the empty glass.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering if that's going to be an issue. So Alyssa says, side by side, Pendleton 1910 12-year 100% rye versus American 100% rye. I am here for that.
Wow.
I would be down with that.
You've got to hit show or hide.
What? Did Bad Axe Bourbon say something
Yeah.
offensive?
Yeah.
I don't know. YouTube is so dumb.
Yeah. You're
Minnesota fields are increasingly turning out rye. Time to embrace the spice. Yeah, there you go. Interesting. He was answering someone. Let's see. Try peanut butter whiskey and Jack Daniel's single barrel barrel perfect. I meant to actually text you about this and message you. I did try that, and I actually was going to make a video, and I just didn't get around to it. So, Bobby, I did try that. It's interesting how even on 130 some proof whiskey, the peanut butter just shines through.
So on this, you haven't poured it yet, right?
Hold on, I have to tell this.
Okay.
So Bobby, I was actually going to make a video just saying, hey, Bobby did this on his 50-50, so now I'm going to try it. And so I was going to pour, and I'll tell you this now because it just didn't work out.
Okay.
I was going to pour the two together, and just before I sipped on it, I was going to be like, hang on, this just doesn't feel right. And then I was going to cut, and I actually, can you grab that right there? I was going to cut.
You need to turn around.
The problem is it didn't stick, and I didn't have time. I actually made a mustache, but it wouldn't stick to my face. And I have an axe, and I was going to like cut the screen, and then I was going to be having the mustache and a hat and then holding an axe. And I was going to be like, what we got? That's good. I put that much effort into trying to make that. But the mustache didn't work. So I was like, well, without the mustache, then the whole thing. But now the mustache graces my fridge. Put it back up there. All right, anyway, let's get back into it. I can't wait to hear what he says about that.
This is really good, by the way. It has smoke flavor from just the glass. I'm out of my peanut butter whiskey, so I need to buy a new one of those. And I need to buy barbecue whiskey. It's going to get in the way.
I saw the cap sitting right here, and I was just looking into the glass to make sure I didn't pour too much.
It was awesome.
Just beclowned on the World Wide Web for all to see.
That was awesome.
I promise that old fashioned was the only full drink we've had today. To make a highlight out of that. Dude, I love it. I'm dead, Bobby says. Now I kind of wish I hadn't told him about that and figured out a way. I was actually considering even going to the store and finding a fake mustache, but I have a little tiny, it
is Halloween
stubble
season,
here, so
right?
nothing would stick to it. That's the problem.
We could get something to stick.
But I did go, you saw it. I went as far as to make the fake mustache and everything.
It's Halloween season.
I know.
Stop into some costume store and buy them.
Oh, hell no.
No, it's awesome.
Oh, God, that tastes like shit.
No, you poured it wrong.
Actually, well, you know what it tastes like? It tastes like peanut butter whiskey that's gone cantaloupe or gone bad. Or
I love that gone cantaloupe has become a thing. Because I don't
Does it really, though? I think we need to push it even more. What does it actually mean? It just means
it's gone bad.
Yeah, because the one...
I don't like cantaloupe.
Yeah, well, and there was one whiskey in particular you said that...
Well, the Lefroy, I thought
tasted like
maybe...
cantaloupe. I actually do have a bourbon on here that we should review that tastes like melon, like cantaloupe melon, sort of like it's weird. It's not a very popular whiskey though, so you still got to make that. All right, Bobby, I will make the Bad Axe Bourbon parody video.
That's
as long as I have your blessing. Was it flatter or imitation is the most sincere form of flattery or whatever?
Somebody said that.
Yeah, it's all out of respect. By the way, if you have not subscribed to Bad Axe Bourbon, please do yourself a favor and go do so. It's a great channel.
Hilarious channel.
Bourbon Rendezvous as well. I know he's taking a break from COVID, but he says he's going to make some more videos, so go check him out as well. Yeah, I can't wait to do the live stream with Bobby and talk to him about his channel because, when we first started watching that, we already had our channel, and then...
I do have one concern, though.
What?
He seems to go long with some of his videos.
What do you mean?
Doesn't he go several hours with some of the...
Oh, the live streams?
Yeah.
Oh, those are just live streams, though.
Well, that's what we're going to do.
At this point,
we're 44 minutes in. And...
Yeah, exactly. So he's going along just like we are.
Oh, no, hours.
No, but for real, when we first started making this channel, I learned about his channel because he subscribed, and I was like, what's Bad Axe Bourbon? I checked it out. And then I think we were doing a Zoom call with Ron and David. I was like, you got to check out this guy's channel.
Yeah.
Because like he just drinks whiskey and then he just beats the shit out of his bar with an axe. It's just, it's one of those things I saw and I was like, man, I wish I had thought of that. Why didn't we think to just put axe holes into things? Like, it is a little nerve wracking though, because every time you swing that axe down, I'm just like, God, I hope it doesn't bounce back.
He's an expert.
Yeah. You guys got to give me a recommendation on a starter scotch. Well,
Lefroy 10-year. That is the only scotch you need to try.
Yeah, exactly.
It's spelled weird.
Take the training wheels right off and get into it.
That's
right. You know, to be perfectly honest, I don't even know because most of the scotches I've had are kind of starters in the sense that if you get like not an Isla scotch, but just like a Highland Speyside 80 proof or a basic like Macallan.
I think Macallan 12-year kind of thing is kind of the typical. Balvenie a really good distillery.
Glenlivet. But just get the basic, not too expensive stuff. Johnny Walker Black is like if you want to dip your toes into the peated sort of smoky flavor.
So I would say pick up a Speyside or a Highland region of Scotland. Just a basic 80 proof.
And most of them are low proof anyway. Bobby doesn't need to go low proof though. He's experienced enough in whiskey that proof's not going to bother him. But for the most part,
tend to be lower proof.
Yeah, they tend
and
to
they also tend to be older because of the climate. It takes more years to cook a bourbon or cook a scotch.
I might have to copyright Axhole. Well, you say Axhole all the time on your channels. I'm just ripping that off from you. I think you actually should for sure. Bourbon Rendezvous says Macallan 18.
That's not
Alyssa
a starter.
says Gorilla Glue should work.
Oh,
okay, we're caught.
Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
What?
C922 in Minnesota yet. I've not seen the C9.
Oh, I missed that one. No, I have not seen the C batch yet. Alyssa, can you comment on that?
The C batch sounds like a really bad term.
Speaking of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, and speaking of Alyssa, so Spirits Liquor, they do when they get their like allocated stuff in, they just do a raffle where you don't have to spend the most money. You don't have to whatever. You just go in there, you put your name on the list. These are the bottles I want. They usually have them sitting out, and you can pick like what's my top choice, whatever.
Sure.
And so I was lucky enough to get, and I wasn't going to actually review this one because nobody else can get it.
But nobody cares about that.
Elijah Craig single barrel, private barrel. It's a 9-year, but it's 136.2 proof. And I did crack this open last night, and it's amazing. You ever have one of those bourbons, like when you're sipping on it, like you get that notion in your head that like it's a privilege to be sipping on this whiskey?
So I was drinking a barrel.
So anyway, this is amazing, but it's all gone unless Alyssa's got some tricks up her sleeve.
I was drinking one the other day, and it's only 108 proof. And I really had the same thought, like something must have gone wrong. This should not be in this bottle. Like it was so good.
Was it the Jim Beam single barrel 108?
Like
that bottle that you have of that is amazing.
That
it really
it's
is
a single
good.
barrel. I think they grabbed the wrong barrel. Like it is awesome.
That is a really good one. So
I
I'd like to get a couple of those, and compare them.
Yep, totally agree.
Now I feel terrible because I have this amazing bottle of whiskey right here, and I'm drinking this peanut butter.
No, it's good.
And I don't even hate peanut butter whiskey. A little peanut butter and whiskey on the rocks for like a desserty sort of vibe is good.
But you can look forward to your tomato juice and sadness.
That was good. If you missed it, we made a Kurvball BBQ whiskey Bloody Mary, and it was incredible.
No, it wasn't.
The bike is sold. Easy, unpeated or at least low peat. Yeah, I would start out with unpeated.
Now, kind of like the barbecue whiskey that we tried, peat has a particular note that you either like or you don't like. I tend to like it, but I think a lot of people don't.
I like it sparingly.
Yeah, you have to be careful with it. And Lefroy, they are not careful with it. Let's just put it that way.
It's not a starter, LOL, I guess. Like Stag is a starter bourbon by comparison. Schlammered. Are you Schlammered? Bobby said, "Are you Schlammered? Love the name. Cheers." Is there
not yet?
Oh, Are You Schlammered is the one who asked, "Have you guys seen ECBP C922 in Minnesota yet?"
No, not yet.
So anyway, Alyssa, if you're still in the chat, I don't know. Is that so? That's that's a 922. So it would be September.
We would assume September.
Typically, I see those about a month or two afterwards, and that could be just
Well, I don't know. Are they available anywhere? I've not actually seen that one on Instagram yet, but I'm not on there every day.
Yeah, I haven't really seen it either. That's weird.
We are filming this in September.
Well, it's live. I suppose for the people that might watch this back, but I don't think anybody who watches this back is going to watch 50 minutes in.
Oh, they will. Of
what started out as barbecue whiskey. I mean, maybe it was like a solid bourbon tasting, people would stick around for it, but they look in and like, barbecue whiskey, 50 minutes.
Well, no, if someone's going to do a search for Kurvball BBQ whiskey.
Could be.
Because we'll tag it in the video.
I'm saying those people probably dropped off a long time ago.
No, it's finally getting good.
Let's see. All right, here's a list. So we have not seen the recent batch either. I think Minnesota's always a little delayed. That's been my experience too.
And we get whiskey late.
Yeah, a little bit of both. Minnesota gets whiskey late, and they missed the memo on zipper merging. By the way, we might as well try the Pringles barbecue since you brought them. Greg brought Pringles barbecue, but now this is just peanut butter.
Go ahead.
Now there's going to be the sound of us eating, though, on the mics.
Well, you open the can, you got to...
I'm going to try one of these and I cover them. Then again,
it's live.
There might be some people out there that are into this.
Oh, that's right.
We
There's
talk
this
about
whole
the
thing.
ASMR, is that what it is?
Yeah,
ASMR?
I have no idea what this...
ASMR. I think it's ASMR.
Autonomous Semi-Mobility Region, or I don't know what it stands for.
So,
no, I have no idea what it stands for.
Did you just pull all those words out of your ass?
I think autonomous is the first word.
Okay.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you and I agree.
Well, I think it's like soothing sounds that people like fall asleep to, but apparently some of it is people eating, which that's bordering on fetish at that point.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's weird, right?
There are lots of weird...
Like, who likes the sound of someone chewing on something?
Yeah.
Now I'm insecure. I'm not eating this live on the internet.
Good call.
I just don't want people getting excited.
Good call.
All right. Do you think we should wrap this up here?
I think it's time to call this a video.
These were actually really good. The peanut butter one has grown on me a little bit. I know I said this tastes like shit at first.
Nobody listens.
But again, I feel more like I'm just drinking peanut butter on the rocks, or peanut butter whiskey on the rocks. Sure. Not just peanut butter on the rocks. But yeah, if you joined us midway through and you want to watch the rebroadcast, we made a barbecue whiskey old fashioned and a barbecue whiskey Bloody Mary.
It was horrible in summary.
I thought they were both really good, actually.
I like the old fashioned. I did not like, but I don't like old Bloody Marys ever.
I don't either, and I actually like this one. So I think I might be a Bloody Mary drinker now.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to explore that. So let's check a couple of chats here before we sign off.
All right.
Let's see where we've not seen. Okay. Are You Slammered says, yes, there are reviews out on Whiskey Tube of C922.
Nice.
Well, screw those people. If you didn't see it here, it didn't happen. No, I'm just kidding. Bobby says, actually prefer peanut butter whiskey mixed. What do you mix that with? Either throw it in the, well, we're about to sign off, but shoot me a text, Bobby.
But so true story, I genuinely like barbecue Pringles and whiskey. The flavors pair well together.
We have not done that yet. Well, I haven't done that. We haven't done that.
I have, yeah.
So Are You Slammered says, I agree. No one in Minnesota knows how to zipper merge. For sure. Minnesota is known for Minnesota nice, but when it comes to zipper merging, we are the worst human beings.
You know, that sounds like the most inappropriate touching ever.
Zipper merging? Yeah, it does. Well, it didn't until you brought it up. Good Lord.
I have no idea what this is. But I was born in Texas, and
that's right. He's not like a true to the game Minnesotan.
No, I just got stuck here.
You know when the freeway is like, there's a lane closure, for example, or you're just trying to enter the freeway, and there's 15 cars piled up because there's 15 people that are trying to get to the front of the line, and you just want
left, right, left, right, left, right.
Yeah, but no one in Minnesota does that
because they're jerks.
Yeah, exactly.
Minnesota's worst people in like.
I think Minnesotans are great people until they try to zipper merge, and then they're just hot garbage.
Until they try to drive.
Yeah, well, driving in general, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got more comments here. Actually,
mostly sarcasm.
I agree. No one in Minnesota knows how to zipper merge. I read that one. Where is the behind-the-scenes guy to drink all your leftovers? LOL, my dad would volunteer. You know what? Maybe we should do that as a Patreon thing, where like we film one of these lives, and then when the live stream is off, we go into Patreon live, and we have to mix together the drinks we didn't finish and do a review of them.
No.
Boom. That is going to be a thing now. Thank you for that idea, Alyssa.
That's not a thing.
Greg loves it.
I'm busy that night.
Dude, I've been toying with the idea of bourbon Pringle pairings. I'll do it, Bobby. Great live guys more often.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Cheers. Yeah, for sure. Bobby, now that we got this, and maybe the next one we can do a collab, hopefully.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
So I did go into StreamYard yesterday, and I got that all worked out and kind of figured out how to use it. So, or let us know when you're going live next, Bobby, and maybe we can join in with you. So
totally.
All right, we're gonna sign off. I think I've reached the end of the comments, so don't send any more comments because Bobby says boom.
But it's hidden. You got to show it.
Oh. Why are all? Because he's putting the axe in the thing, maybe.
Oh yeah.
And YouTube probably thinks that's Jesus Lord. Anyway, Alyssa says hashtag hot and sexy chewing for the AMSR or ASMR or whatever it is. Well, Alyssa, apparently there are tons of videos out there, so
that's right.
It's a whole thing. There's probably entire websites dedicated.
I think it's mostly YouTube. Like it's not a website. Well, whatever. I know nothing, and I want to stay that way.
All right. Well, on that note, isn't it the love is where you find the burning sensation?
Harshness.
The harshness is where you find the love. We tried to coin that as our thing, and we keep forgetting to say it.
You coined it.
Well, you said it,
well,
and I coined it.
Yeah.
So that's a we thing. We're in this together.
Or liquor and sadness.
Yeah, liquor and sadness. Hit that like button, Sir Cuts. Yes, thank you. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the comments. And yeah. Bad Axe Bourbon, 4 p.m. PST. Which day?
Nobody's going to know.
Well, he usually goes on Thursday, so that's probably tomorrow because usually his live streams are on Thursday.
PST?
Yeah, he's in California, so it's Pacific. I thought you had a quip about that.
I was trying, but it didn't happen.
Greg's also from California, so I figured. You were grew up near where Bobby lives. So
yeah, not too far away.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you guys very much for joining. We kind of had like a solid 10 to 12 people in here the whole time, which honestly, awesome. I wasn't expecting anyone to show up.
Yeah.
I figured most people just catch this on the rebroadcast. But anyway, thank you very much for joining in the live. We're going to be doing this way more often. It's been fun watching the comments and everything like that. So
totally.
Anyway, cheers. Let's wait, you know what? I should get the stop button loaded up, and then we can go, thanks for watching. Cheers.